Welcome to Seeing with Your Soul, the podcast aimed to inspire you to find your voice and become the best, truest, and most authentic version of yourself. Spiritually intimate, soul-to-soul conversations, life-changing insights, and spiritual teaching and healing. Real, raw, unfiltered. Join your host, Tisha Michelle.
Welcome back to Seeing with Your Soul. I'm your host, Tisha Michelle. All right, so let's get some of these announcements out of the way. I do have 2 spots open for my next spiritual retreat, which is going to be in Shenandoah Valley, Virginia, and that's going to be August 19th through the 22nd. And you can visit my website, which is www.healaligneglow.com, and glow is the GLO, and you can get more information and you can put your deposit down to snag one of the last 2 spots. Also, there's still time to join my certified professional hypnotist training class. It's going to be 2 parts. The first part is going to be online, and that begins July 12th through the 14th. And then the second part is going to be in person, and that's going to be August 7th and 8th, and that's going to be in Richmond, Virginia. But don't worry, if you can't make it to the in-person part, it's actually going to be streamed live because I do have a few people who will not be attending live, and they're just going to do it online. So don't worry. Most of our behavioral patterns and our beliefs are stored in our subconscious mind, which just happens to be the deepest and most powerful part of ourselves. And this is where things can be reprogrammed and changed. So whether you're a coach, a healer, a therapist, or just someone who just wants to make change in their own life, their loved ones, or people, in the world, like this course is, it's for you. I've had a couple of people ask questions. They're like, well, I don't want to just like hypnotize people and all, but you have like this misconception of like what hypnosis actually is. So a lot of people think of Hollywood like you're getting sleepy. That's not it. That's definitely not, it. Or they think of like the stage hypnosis, right? Where it's like, okay, you're a dog, so I need you to bark. And then people just start barking and they start doing all these things. And that's all fun and games. And that is all very much true. However, when it just goes so much more deeper than that, right? So in this course, you're going to learn introduction to hypnosis, dispelling like the myths of what it is. You're going to learn the different brainwave states and why that's important to know. Also the uses and benefits when it comes to hypnosis. We're going to go into like insights into actual human behavior. I'll break down like the inductions and like the deepenings and like, guided imagery and visualization, the awakening and hypnotic language, conversational hypnosis, self-hypnosis, right? So we're going to really dive into all of that. But also I'm adding in parts of spirituality, the inner child and birth trauma and that connection to the present moment, right? And then on like the back end, I'm going to, help you like establish your business and opening up a practice and, all of those type of things right there. Right. So that's just a little bit on there. But if you really want some more information on the course, just send me a message. You can just go to, honestly, Instagram is the best place for you to connect with me. And that's at Mindset Slayer, and just send me a DM and then I can shoot you over an email with like all of the information when it comes to the course. Yeah. Okay. But enough of that, right? Okay. So in the present moment, I would say that I am grateful. Okay. So I would definitely probably say that I'm just really kind of like scanning. I would say that in this present moment, I am grateful for being able to recognize manipulation, narcissism, and fucking gaslighting, right? To recognize that shit. Like I recognize that. So back the fuck up, right? Whether I say anything to you or not, trust and believe you're not getting shit over on me. Sorry. But it goes a little bit deeper. Not only am I able to like recognize it and sense it when that's being like projected, but I understand and know that it has nothing to do with me and everything to do with the individual person. And I think that's what, this past 2 weeks, there's been like 2 occasions where I've really sensed and picked it up. And I'm like, damn, bruh, do you not know that I'm a fucking hypnotist? Like, I know this shit. So just because you saying some shit to me more than once, like trying to slide it in and like thinking that I'm gonna like change and be like, oh yes, actually, it's okay. I will do that. You got the wrong one, buddy. The wrong one, because I can sense the manipulation right there. And that we're not gonna do. But no, all jokes aside. But seriously, like before, I would get so upset if it was like someone was like trying to gaslight me, make me feel like I'm questioning myself or my intuition, or make me feel like I'm crazy and like, well, maybe that didn't happen, knowing goddamn well I know what happened. I would be like really angry and really like pushing back, but now I'm in this place in my life where I can sense it. I can recognize it. And I know that it has nothing to do with me and has everything to do with the other person. So I don't have to clap back. I don't have to say something crazy or, go to put you into your place or whatever. I'm going to give you that space and let you rock out with that, because that's something over there that you need to work through and really like understand. And if you need my help with that, reach out, right? Reach out. So that's what I would say that I am grateful for in this present moment. It's just really just goes back to, honestly, the bigger thing is just that awareness, that true awareness. So, all right, but what are you guys grateful for? So unless you're driving, I want you to go ahead and close your eyes. Let's get a little grounded real quick. Now, I want you to take a nice deep breath. And I just want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Probably sense yourself getting a little looser. All right, so another deep breath, breathing in through your nose and out your mouth. Letting that tension go, letting some of those cares and those worries just go. And you're just going to take this moment just for yourself. All right, one more. So a nice deep breath, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Yes, 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 and yes. All right, what's up? What are you guys grateful for? Right? You can go with the first thing that pops in your head, or you can take some time to like scan your life. However, or whatever you express, just know that it's perfect for you. Just express that gratitude, baby. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. On a regular basis, like every day, like I express like what I'm grateful for. And there will be those times where I'm like, man, you know what? I'm grateful for like my apartment. I think this was like, everything is the other day to me because I have no sense of time. But me and my youngest daughter were talking, and then she was just like, I was like, man, that's so crazy, that, how we moved to Arizona and we didn't even know where we were going to stay. And then she was like, yeah, and now we have 2 places. I was like, right? Right? Like, I remember, and I'm actually getting ready to come up on it. August 3rd of 2019 is when I decided to up and just leave and move to, step out on faith and move to Arizona. And August 5th is when we actually got here. So, hold on, 3rd, the 4th, the 5th. Yeah, August 5th is when we actually got here. So it's almost 2 years. And we didn't even know where we were going to stay, right? And now I have 2 places, one on the East Coast and one on the West Coast. What? And I don't say that in no way at all of a bragging space, but it's really just expressing that gratitude, because I stepped out on faith and did something super scary and that I was not used to. And now, not even 2 years later, I have 2 places when I didn't even know where I was going to stay in August of 2019, right? So there's those times where I, scan through and I'll be like, man, I'm grateful for my place. And it's like, yeah, you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm grateful for my house. Okay, yeah. But it just goes so much deeper, right? It goes so much deeper because of the process of getting there, right? So I will say like, oh yeah, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for my health. And just now that I've been really being so much more intentional with my gratitude, when I'm saying, air quotes over here, guys, those basic needs and those basic things, they just hit differently now. So instead of saying like, I'm super grateful for, oh, I'm grateful for like my health. It's like, man, I've been struggling and like my lupus has been acting the fuck up, just trying to be all grown and trying to pop up in the forefront. I'm like, well, what's up? So when I say that, it's just like, man, I know, because when you have lupus and I have SLE, that can attack anything. It's not just the skin, it can be the organs. So you literally can dead ass just wake up one day and you got all this information on your heart, right? Check out Tony Braxton, Selena Gomez, Nick Cannon. And I name them because they've been very public with their thing. So when I'm saying like, oh, I'm grateful for my health, like it just hits differently. It just hits differently. And this is why I always encourage people, scan your life. Really scan your life. It may be a conversation that you had and you may think, oh, it's just a simple conversation. But when you really think about it, that conversation hits differently. It hits deeper, because of whatever may have been, going on or whatever. But yeah, expressing that gratitude, man, that shit is like a huge, 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 huge thing by really just scanning your life and just really thinking like, okay, so first thing that popped into your head, that you say that you're grateful for, or if you took time or you're journaling or whatever, go a little bit deeper, allow yourself to go a little bit deeper. Well, why is it that you're so grateful for your house, or you're grateful for your car, or you're grateful for your family? What about it? Like what is that? Maybe you're grateful for your family, and why it really hits differently because sometimes you feel like the outsider, but a situation just happened and you realize how much support you have, right? So it's just always like so important to really allow yourself to go a little bit deeper to express like the why is it that you feel grateful about that? Like, what is that? Because then you just remind yourself of how blessed you actually are, even in your darkest moments. Even in your darkest moments, you're truly blessed, right? Okay. All right. So I was listening to an episode on Your Own Magic podcast, and there was a guest on there, and he was talking about a sabbatical, right? So traditionally, a sabbatical was you taking a break from your job, and it was like a year, right? And it was paid or unpaid, depending on what you did. And you were taking the sabbatical so that you can study or travel, right? So move over traditional sabbatical and hello modern. What's up? Let's go. Right. So listening to that episode, it sparked this conversation here on Seeing with Your Soul, because what she said to him when Raquel is the host, she said to him, so how's your sabbatical? Even though she's like, well, even though you're like working. And what he said just like was this like aha moment. He was like, well, he's like, what I realize is I'm actually taking a sabbatical from my responsibilities. So I'm not doing anything. It's just that I'm taking this sabbatical away from my responsibility. So I'm creating and I'm enjoying it. And it just made me think, right? It really made me think, because this has been coming up like so much for me. Like, I just want to get away and I just want to just like, take this time. But every time like I think about taking this time away, I'm like, oh, well, I can't do it on this day because I have this session. Well, I can't do it on that day because I have those sessions. Well, no, I have a doctor's appointment. Well, I have to do this. Well, then, and then the next thing you know, I'm like, I can't even do this for like a month. So then it goes out the window, right? Just completely out the window, right? So when he was saying that about taking a sabbatical from your responsibility, I said, fuck, that's it. That's what I want to do. I want to take this sabbatical, not to just do nothing, but just to step away from my responsibilities, right? Step away from all of the responsibilities that I have, right? So I look at it like this. When you remove the responsibilities from your life, like, who are you? What brings you joy? What do you like? What do you dislike? What do you want to experience? Or like, what do you want to create? Right? So if you were to take some time away, like just for you, no responsibility, no work, no mommy or daddy duties, no wife or husband duties, no client duties, just you giving yourself permission to do whatever the fuck you want. Right? Like what would that look like? So I was really thinking, I'm like, what are some types of like sabbaticals that you can take? Right? Because, we're not leaving for like a year so we can just go study, right? Who does that? No, I'm kidding. So you could take a sabbatical to write, right? Maybe you want to really write a book, right? But you're in your head, you're thinking of all these people like, it takes a long time to write a book. And it took me 2 or 3 years to write a book. Or it took me this to write a book. I just look at it like this. Like, everybody is fucking different. Everybody is different. Do I feel like somebody could bang out a book in like 24, 48 hours? Yup. I feel like you could go and you could just zone out and you could fucking channel and you get that shit written. Now, the whole editing and all that's a whole different story. But as far as you putting that content out there, I feel like you could, because who's to say that you can't? What's for you is for you, and how that comes through. So just because it took somebody a really long time or whatever the case doesn't mean that it has to take for you in that sense. So you could take a sabbatical where you say, I'm just going to like dip out for a fucking week or 4 days and I'm just going to write my book. And that's what I'm going to do. So you're not just doing it to do nothing. It's like, I'm very intentional. And this is what my sabbatical is, to write my book. Step away to write my book. Or you might take a sabbatical to just play. Nurture your inner child. Go and just have some fucking fun, right? Just have some fun. So Tiani King, her name is Tiani King on Instagram. And she's a dope ass dancer and just a beautiful soul. And something that she just recently did for her birthday is she went skydiving. I was like, what? That's fucking what's up. Like, but that's something that she did. And the reasoning, like behind it, I don't know, but like that's something that she did. So I'm not saying you need to go take a sabbatical to go skydiving. However, that may be something that you do a part of your fun. Like, you know what, just like, I'm just going to take a risk and just put it all out there and just fucking jump out of a plane. Like, what's up? Right. But really, you can just take the sabbatical to play, right? And I'm going to say this, most of us, we don't even like play or have fun. And I know I would ask people, I'd be like, what do you like to do for fun? They'd be like, oh, I like to go to the movies. I'm like, that shit ain't fun. You just sitting there, you can't even fucking talk because people looking at you like you're crazy. Or like, I like to go out to eat. People would say that. And that's me. I'm people. I'd be like, oh, I like to go out to eat with my friends. Like, that's not fucking fun. That's something we have to do. We have to eat. But it was like, I couldn't answer that. And so many people, when I asked them that question, they don't know because they stopped having fun when they were a child, and now that they're adult, they don't have any fun. We don't have any fun. So maybe you take your sabbatical to just go play and just have fun. Or maybe you're going to take it to go to school, take up a language, to, to learn a new skill. So you're going to step away from the responsibilities to go and just to do this, to focus on this so you could really take it in. Or maybe you're going to take a sabbatical so you can go start your side hustle, right? So a lot of times, people, I look at it like this. People are like, well, I want to do this, but I don't know how I'm going to like really make money off of it. And then I'm not going to be able to leave like my job. Well, maybe you take time off and then go work on that side hustle to work out some kinks, to see if you even like it. Is it something that you want to do? Can you make money from it? That way you just took some time off to focus on this, to really kind of create it and to see, right? Or maybe you take that time off so you can go and volunteer. Like, I know that's something I've always wanted to do. And before I leave, this earth, this lifetime, I want to go on like a mission trip, right? Where I don't know. I've probably talked about this on a podcast before, but I'm just like, I really don't have the money to really be like donating to causes. I do, but I feel like my little bit of money doesn't do much. And that's just like my thinking on there. But I'm like, I really want to be like hands on. I want to get out there. I want to like, fucking dig, dig. And I want to build this, or I want to go over there and teach, and stuff. So, maybe you take a sabbatical to go volunteer. Doesn't mean you have to do like me, go like abroad, but you just go and like volunteer. Or maybe you just take one and just fucking create, just to create magic. Create just to create. Or it could be to travel, right? Maybe it could be you're just going to take time and just travel, and you just want to hop from place to place, or you just want to step away from your responsibilities and take this sabbatical to heal, to really, really, truly heal. Right? And giving yourself that space to actually heal. Or it could be even something as simple, which can be powerful, as taking a sabbatical off of social media, right? So when you step back away from, take time away and just take this time to not be on social media and be a lot more present, you can really probably see, what is it that you actually like? What do you like in life? What do you want? What are truly your ideas? Because a lot of times we can get clouded, by social media, seeing all these different things that people are posting. And we're like, I want to do that. oh, I would love to do that. And then it's like, no, you fucking don't. You just want to do it because you see other people doing it. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, because sometimes that's where we get our inspiration from. But sometimes we just get so clouded and I can't even think of the word, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, it's just too much, because there's so many other people doing all these different things. You don't even know what is yours, right? So when you really think about like doing taking a sabbatical or whatever if you want to say like a vacay or whatnot, but I like sabbatical. Certain fears or obstacles or excuses, they may start coming up, because that's how it was for me. I was like, oh, well, I got this person here and I got this person there. Like, I'm not even going to be able to do it. But in actuality, if I was to really just explore these things that I feel as a fear or an obstacle or an excuse, after I explore it for a little bit, provide a solution for it. So for me, all I had to do was really look at the space where I wanted to do it and just reach out to my clients and move their appointments. Just be able to move the appointment. Just say, hey, just something as simple like, do you mind if we move it to this date or this date, and just to see what works with them. And if that does, right. Or it could be like, well, I don't really have the money, to do that. So, okay, well, maybe we work on it. Right. And we start, putting money aside for this sabbatical. Right. Or like for me, when I would look at it, I'd be like, well, if I was to do this, I wouldn't even be able to do it for a month. But like, okay, that's fine. Right now, the timing might not be best, but it might be okay in the next month. Okay, so set it up. What's the problem? Right? I was just self-sabotaging, over there. Or maybe it's because you have kids. And this is where you get to lean in on your support system, or see, who is your support system, and just say like what people can be put in place for things. Also like letting people know what you're doing and creating that boundary to say. So like recently I went to go get a massage, and I was going to get the whole works, right? So I knew I was going to be in it like an hour and a half, right? So I text my two youngest kids, the younger ones, and I said, hey, I'm going to be away from my phone for about 2 hours, right? So I let them know that, but by me letting them know that I was going to be away from my phone for, 2 hours made me feel better. Right? Because what would end up happening is if I'm away from my phone, getting a massage or something, I tend to think about that. Like, oh my God, did my kids reach out to me? Do they need something? Are they going to be worried? Da, 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 da. And it's like, you know what? Just tell people what you're doing. The ones that, matter in that sense. Right? You know what I mean? Like for me, it's like my kids, because they would probably be reaching out to me. And then my son, my 10-year-old, he'll be like, Mom, it's the message. He's texting me. He's like, why aren't you answering? I'm getting worried. What is going on? Right. So you know what? I'm going to make myself feel better, and I'm going to, make you feel, what I'm saying? Cause I don't want you to have that anxiety. So include the people and let them know what you're doing. Hey, I'm going to be gone for, 3 days or 2 days or blah, 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 like, or whatever. And what we're also doing is those people that we feel like, but they need us and this and that. We're also teaching them to be self-sufficient. But we're also, we're teaching them, because a lot of times so many people come to us for so many things, and things that they could actually figure out and do for themselves. Right? So now we're actually helping them too. Y'all feel me? You feel me? And we're also creating boundaries and stuff. Right? So yeah. And I know that there's somebody listening like, I would love to do that, but there's just no possible way that I could take a sabbatical. Right. Okay. I get it. I don't know your personal thing. You want to bounce some stuff off with me? Hit me up. We can have a conversation. Right. But your sabbatical could be a day. It could be a week. It could be 6 months, 4 weeks, it could be a fucking year. If you can do it for like a year and just disappear and just go, oh my God, I'm fucking jealous. Hella jealous. But there's no rules to it. It's literally whatever it is that you want to do. So you can take that day. And see, what ends up happening with this is when you remove, like I said before, when you remove those responsibilities, you start to get to the point to say, like, hey, who am I? What do I like to do? What do I want to do? What feels good? What doesn't feel good? But when you're on a go, grind, hustle, make this shit happen, gotta do this, gotta do that same ass routine and stuff, you don't even know what you like or what you don't like. You don't even know what you want to create, or how you want to feel, or like what's fun to you. But if we can step back and remove them, I don't got no duties, none of those things. And you're just sitting there. It's like, okay, so what's up now? What do you want to do? What do you want to explore? But what we did, when we do that is we create this space, right? And when we create that space, this is where the aha things drop in. And you're like, I feel like I want to go skydiving. Guys, that's definitely, I was pushing it when I did a hot air balloon in Egypt. And I wasn't even sure I was going to do that until the morning of, because I already told them on the trip. I was like, I don't know. I'm probably not going to do it. I'm afraid of heights, AKA I'm afraid of falling. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do it. But however, I decided when I woke up that morning, and it was cool because I told him, I said, I don't know if I'm going to do this or not, because that does scare me. But I told him what it was, and let's leave it alone. I don't need you trying to convince me. But I was with a great group of people that would never even try to convince me of something, because they know that you got to do what you feel is best for you. So when I woke up that morning, I was like, I'm in fucking Egypt, and I could get on a hot air balloon and watch the sun rise. Hell yes, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it afraid. And I did, and I was like, damn, this was great. I pulled out my phone and it was just amazing. But what it was I gave myself that space. I acknowledged that there was this fear, but that was it. I didn't feed into it. I didn't give it. And I gave myself that space. And when I gave myself that space, I looked at the bigger picture for me. And that bigger picture was, I'm in Egypt. And this is like, it could literally be a once in a lifetime opportunity, for me. And I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it afraid. And that's okay. And when I got up there, it was so beautiful and it was so peaceful. And it was so much that was like downloaded like to me. And it was just so like amazing. But I created that space. So I was saying all that to say, ain't no way in hell I'm doing no skydiving. But maybe that's something that comes up for you and you're like, I want to do it. I've always wanted to do it. Hell yeah, let's go. Or you step away from those things. And when you step away from it, you start to see how peaceful you feel, right? And when you created that space, you realize like the job that you were in doesn't bring you any joy. It doesn't bring you any peace. And you realize it's not necessarily a job. You're like, man, I really like the people that I'm around. I really like this company. But what you actually realized was the role that you were in. He's like, you know what? I'm okay working here. I really don't like this role though. And now that this space was created because you were able to step away from that responsibility, it created this space and it popped in your head and you're like, I really would like to try another role. I'm going to reach out to HR and to see if this is something that's possible, right? Who knows? And you might be like, yeah, I've been always wanted to write this book. Like I've had this like in my head, but I just don't have any time. Well, guess what? Now you do, buddy. Now you do. Or maybe it is to travel or whatever the case is, or maybe it's to rest, right? And you say, I'm going to go on a sabbatical and I'm going to do a day trip here in my place. If you have kids, they're taken care of, they're good. You're going to dip out, you stay in a hotel and you just lay around and you're just there. And you realize how much rest you actually needed. But you never realized how sore your body was and how tired you were because you were just going. Because I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do it. But when we remove them, you then realize, I need more rest in my life, right? I need more rest. Or maybe you realize like you're sitting there and you're like, who the fuck am I? I don't have to take care of no kids. I don't have to cook no dinner. I don't have to clean the house. I don't have to go to work. Like, what the fuck do I do with my life? And in that moment, you realize you live for everyone else. And that's just a shocking revelation for you. It could be anything, guys. I hope you get what I'm saying. Like, take some time for just your fucking self. right? Let's just make this happen somehow. And maybe you have to start off small, and it's the sabbatical that you take as a 4 hours, right? The whole point of me saying is you get to do whatever you want. It might be just an hour. Even if you can take this hour away from all of your responsibilities and just like dip out. One of my, big things is my phone. I used to go everywhere with my phone. I gotta answer everybody's text. I gotta answer everybody's call, and I have to be at this phone. And when I sleep, I gotta leave it on ring, because what if it's an emergency and they can't, and it is just so bad. It was to the point that if I didn't respond to someone, they literally would be blowing my phone. I'm like, are you okay? I thought something happened. And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. Like I was da-da-da-da. And they're like, oh, because you didn't message back. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? And I'm like, oh, that was me. Because I'm always instantly responding back to a person or to an email or to this or to that, that when I don't, people think that something happened. And I'm being trained. I'm looking to be a lot more intentional now with my phone, and not having to be glued to my phone and being able to respond. I'm always going to respond to everyone. I'm never going to just look at your message or listen and just go about my business. I'm a lot more respectful than that. But I can step away from my phone for a while and then go back to my phone and then see the message and then respond. In that case, I'm not looking at a message or listening to a voicemail and just saying, fuck it, I'm not going to respond. And I'm not looking at it like that. Because me personally, I feel like that's just rude. But it's more so being able to step away from my phone as a whole. Right. So that's a part of my sabbatical that I can do right now until I can actually go like away, is where I step away from my phone. Because you realize this phone, you can pick up your phone and open up a text message or an email or say hello because somebody's calling, and your whole mood can change, and it can set the tone for the whole goddamn day. Right. You guys know that. Come on, let's keep it 100. Somebody sits there and texts you and you look at that shit and now your whole shit's like, what the fuck? So I'm being like part of my sabbatical, because again, you can make this up as you go along and do whatever the hell you want. That's stepping away from my phone and giving myself some space, right? And what I've been doing with that, without saying like, oh, I want to get off of social media, I just want to step away from my phone. And then I've found that I'm not scrolling on social media as much, right? Because let's be real, like I can get caught in just scrolling. Like, what did I just do with the last 30 minutes of my life? That's just crazy, right? So part of like right now, until I can put in motion what it is, the sabbatical that I'm going to take, I got some things cooking. I kind of know how I would like to design it and when I want to do this, and doing the things on the back end to make it work, right? So as much as I want instant gratification and I want to do it right now, I know that that's not the best thing. So I'm putting things in place and so that way I can move forward and take my sabbatical, because my sabbatical is going to be a nice little length. You're going to be like, has anyone seen Tisha? I'm in somebody's jungle, just living my best fucking life. So in the meantime, what I am doing is I'm stepping away from my phone and just giving myself time to just be present, like just with myself, and not having to, do so much on the phone in different sessions and responding to emails and all of that stuff. I'm just stepping away for a little bit and being intentional with that, and just being able to create just some space, just lean in within myself and say, how are you feeling right now? What do you need? And I have these conversations with myself. And because a lot of times when you're caught up in your phone and you're caught up in your work and you're caught up in doing this and you're doing that, you don't know what you need. You're neglecting yourself. So that's my little sabbatical until I could be away, which is coming soon. But again, so you can, make your sabbatical a day, a couple of hours, a week, a year, whatever it is. I just want you to know that you deserve it. Like, you deserve to hear yourself, right? You deserve to be happy. You deserve to understand yourself more. You deserve to have new experiences, right? And this can all come from stepping away from your responsibilities. And this is just a temporary thing, guys. All right, don't get worked up. Just a little temporary thing, and just taking some sort of a sabbatical that's just for you. Because again, you deserve it. So, what type of sabbatical will you take? Until next time. Bye, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to Seeing with Your Soul. If something you heard resonated with you, feel free to rate, review, and share with others. If you are looking to go deeper, you can connect with Tisha Michelle on Instagram at Mindset Slayer or visit www.healingalignglow.com.